Once again, my name is Melissa Jacobs. This is Mainline Tonight. Tonight, my guest is Elissa Bloom. Let's see where she is. There she is. Let's see. There you are. Yay!
Hey, the technology worked.
Yay! It's so good to see your face. Thank you so much for being on the show. So my name is Melissa Jacobs. This is Mainline Tonight. Tonight, my guest is Elissa Bloom, Executive Director of Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. She has a ton of other projects going on. While people are joining us, let me tell everybody how wonderful you are. I'm just going to read some of your accolades here. The list is very, very long. In 2015, the White House invited you to the Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Kenya. In 2016, you were given the Trailblazer Award by Philadelphia Fashion Week. In 2017, you were named Philadelphia Ambassador of Women's Entrepreneurship Day, which is held in 144 countries. In 2018, Philadelphia Business Journal gave you the Woman of Distinction Award. And in 2019, of course, the best of all, you were named one of Mainline Today's Power Women. Woo! I had absolutely nothing to do with it, but you and I became friends after that. We did. It's so great to have you on the show. Let me tell everybody again. My name is Melissa Jacobs. This is Mainline Tonight. My guest is Elissa Bloom, Executive Director of Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. So I know that you just launched the 9th residency in March, and we're going to talk about Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. But first, let's talk about CoverAID PHL. Do I say CoverAID Phil? CoverAID Philly? How do I say it?
CoverAID PHL is perfect. Yes.
Okay. So on March 20th, somewhere around March 20th, just as the COVID-19 was reaching our area, a bunch of people in Philadelphia got together and decided to enlist the help of volunteer sewers to make masks, not the N95 masks, of course, but the mask that we're all wearing right now. So that was back in March 20th, and they pulled together a list of power players in Philadelphia and put you, of course, as one of the people in charge of it. So tell me how that went. It just ended, right? And you have an amazing success rate. In 6 weeks, you had more than 7,000 masks made, and they were delivered to 19 different healthcare institutions, right?
Yes. Yes. So
tell me how it all happened.
Sure. So CoverAID PHL really came together very organically. I had gotten a call from the Commerce Department asking to put a list of designers and sewers and manufacturers together because they had realized that there was a shortage of masks and that we needed to get them quickly. And in my outreach, I got connected to some other people in the community, Evan at Next Fab Studios, John Vanafro, who's a product development specialist, Kendra Brill, who has a fashion brand here, Mel Bayada from Healthcare Organization Group, and a few others. And we decided to come together, and instead of doing double work, we wanted to really streamline our efforts, and we decided to form this task force called CoverAID PHL. So within 3 days, we launched a website. I was charged with spearheading the volunteer sewer initiative. And as you mentioned, in the 6 weeks, I mean, we had 200 sewers that signed up and 19 healthcare providers that we were able to provide these fabric masks to. And we had an incredible Ann Millman who was setting up and coordinating all of our sewers. And we had team leaders that were in charge of.
How did you get them the fabric? Like, that's a lot of fabric, isn't it?
Yes, we had a donation, which from do-gooders, and that helped us purchase fabric. And a lot of other designers and some of the sewers already had fabric in stock, but we also ended up making sewing kits because we had a specific pattern that we CoverAID PHL had created because we wanted to make sure it was approved by the healthcare community. And so we had a whole packet with very specific instructions up on our website. But yeah, we did provide materials for the sewers that needed them.
And who were these sewers? Where did they come from?
They're from all over the region. We had mostly in the Philadelphia area. We had some out in the suburbs. We had some in South Jersey.
Just like people at their homes, or were they professionals?
Yeah, all ages. We had men and women, and as long as they had a sewing machine. I mean, the great thing about the pattern that we created is that it was like a no waste pattern, the way that we had designed it. And yeah, so we delivered everywhere from Temple Health to Pennsylvania Hospital, Liberty Lutheran, Anderson Cancer Center at Cooper, and you definitely check out CoverAIDPHL.org, because another part of the mission of our organization was really to create production of masks, and we have over 46,000 masks that have been ordered in production. And
wow.
So
one of your other missions, so that's over now, right? You've ended that initiative?
Well, the volunteer sewing is over, but we are still producing masks for the healthcare community here in the region.
Okay.
Yes.
It's amazing. Congratulations. I mean, I can't imagine what that feels like. It must have been so much work and so much coordination, but it's amazing how quickly everybody came together in a time of need.
Absolutely. And I feel Philadelphia and this whole area is such a maker's city and region, and people really stepped up, and it was just incredible. The community.
Everybody got their Betsy Ross on, like. So let's talk about another initiative that you're backing out. Support Philly Fashion, right? Yes. So that has an amazing website, supportphillyfashion.com. You are a founding member of the Philadelphia Fashion and Garment Industry Task Force. So tell us a little bit about that organization and its mission.
Sure. So this is really exciting. It was really initiated by Kevin Parker and Carrie Scott, who are founders of Philly Fashion Week. There's so many great things happening here in the city on fashion, and the whole fashion sector is really coming into its own. And I'll talk a little bit later about the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator and the impact that we've had on the community. But also just it keeps getting better and better. We have Philly Fashion Week. We have Made Institute. We have just some really incredible designers here in the city, and we wanted to really come together as a community and form this task force to showcase designers and also provide them with selling opportunities and also PR opportunities and retail opportunities. In addition, a big and part of the initiative is manufacturing, because many of our designers are producing here in Philadelphia, and there aren't enough sources from a manufacturing side. So we're looking to really help to expand that manufacturers and just having
absolutely. So let me reintroduce you. Elissa Bloom, you are Executive Director of Philadelphia Fashion Incubator and a founding member of Support Philly Fashion. My name is Melissa Jacobs. This is Mainline Tonight. Let's tell everybody they can go to supportphillyfashion.com. They can follow the hashtag. It's hashtag supportphillyfashion. And I looked at the list of designers, and there are some people who I know, and one of them is the Kitchen Garden series. So she was on our show already. She's amazing kitchen textiles. Yeah, and aprons, couture aprons. And Tesoro, I know them as well. She's out here. So tell me some of your other favorites from that organization.
Well, of course, our Philadelphia Fashion Incubator designers and alumni that are on there. We have Juno Jones shoes. Melissa Briner has custom men's shoes. She had created a solvent that she has a patent on for painting logos and various design images on men's leather shoes. We have Tobin Designs, which is part of our 2020 agency. Lonnie Shoes is another great Philadelphia designer here.
There are a lot of shoes, I noticed.
There are some really great shoe companies that are coming up.
I honestly did not know there were so many in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Oh, and Bus Stop. Elena Brennan, and she also has a boutique, but she has her own line. So Support Philly Fashion really came about because we wanted to create a platform during this time of quarantine to promote and really showcase all the great designers and retailers and boutiques that are here in the city, and also provide an opportunity for designers that are looking for resources, business resources and grants. So there's a whole section on various local and national business resources on the site.
Yeah, it's great. So again, supportphillyfashion.com and the hashtag of Support Philly Fashion. It's a great place. You know, I think we always we've been talking a lot about supporting local boutiques, which are also on there. But there's, you know, if we can all start wearing things that are designed and manufactured in Philadelphia, that would be amazing as well. So we should definitely go to supportphillyfashion.com and the hashtag supportphillyfashion. Okay, so let's talk about the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. So you've been there since 2011, but you had a long history in fashion before that. So tell me about your life before you went to Philadelphia Fashion Incubator.
Sure. So I don't have any formal design or business background, but I ended up working in product development at Bloomingdale's in New York. I was living in Manhattan for 10 years and then decided to launch an accessories company. So I started a collection of cosmetic bags, totes, and coin purses that I was manufacturing overseas in Asia, importing and wholesaling. And I did that for about 10 years. And then decided I wanted a lifestyle change, moved to Philadelphia. And when I moved here, I started teaching entrepreneurship and the business of fashion at Drexel and at Moore College of Art and Design. And at the time I got connected, I was a judge at Philadelphia Fashion Week and got connected to someone who was working in the commerce department. And they were sharing with me about this new initiative, this incubator, fashion incubator that they were looking to launch. And at the time, we really were looking for a resource because there really were no initiatives or resources for designers that were starting businesses here in Philadelphia. And we're so lucky to be home to some incredible schools here, from Jefferson University, Drexel, to Moore College of Art and Design, UDEL. That has a great fashion program. And there were really no incentives for these designers that wanted to start businesses here. And as you know, we once had a very thriving fashion sector. So we were really looking for a way to keep the talent here and really help them build and grow and expand their brands. And
I think some people think it's kind of like a Project Runway thing, but it's not so much about the design as about the business, right? And it's kind of like a business boot camp. They almost get like an MBA in how to market and sell their products, because you said to me, it's all well and good to be making stuff in your studio. If it doesn't sell, you don't have a future as a brand. So it's really about that brand development sort of thing, right?
Absolutely. And it's a lot of our designers that come into the program, I mean, they already have to have their business up and running anywhere from 6 months to 3+ years. And they're all at different stages. And we're really there to customize their particular business goals. We have an entrepreneur in residence that works with the designers on their particular goals and deliverables. We have incredible educational webinar. Well, now everything's mentors. And, another big part of the program is really giving the designers exposure to new markets and customers. So,
So Elissa Bloom, Executive Director of Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. My name is Melissa Jacobs. This is Mainline Tonight. We're talking about your baby, or one of your babies, the program. And so it's a 12-month long program. There's production, marketing, all of these seminars. They get retail critiques also. You had one at Ellie. I'm pointing Ellie over there recently. So tell us about the retail critiques. They go into like a boutique. They get time with a boutique owner, and they get like information from the boutique owner about like a critique of if their products would sell, their pricing, all that stuff, right?
Absolutely. And it's really an opportunity for designers that want to get in front of decision makers to do it under the auspices of the incubator. So we've had retail critiques at Joan Shep, at Knitwit, as you mentioned, Ellie Boutique. We've had some up in New York. And what we do is we meet with a store owner, get to learn about their buying and merchandising strategies, learn about what they are looking for in their brands. We have a tour of the store to see what they're carrying and what the price points are at. And then at the end, the designers have an opportunity to show pieces from their collection to get feedback and critique. And this has actually led to some wonderful selling opportunities for our designers. So some of our designers have done trunk shows at Ellie Boutique. JTL Design,
Wow.
Turner Lowe was selling there, and Truth Be Worn, Jill Marple McCabe recently had a trunk show there. So it's been great exposure for the designers to better understand the wholesale market and to get direct feedback from people who are in the industry and working, with customers daily.
So you had just launched your 9th group, right?
Yep.
So what's happening now with them? You're doing everything through webinars, is that what you said?
Yeah. So it's been really exciting. And Nancy just joined. Hi, Nancy from Smart Adaptive.
I know her. Hi, Nancy.
We have 6 women.
She's a great example. Let's talk about Nancy for a second. Hi, Nancy. So her brand is Smart Adaptive Clothing, right? So she had this amazing idea. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Nancy was in our program in 2019, and she had created, she has Smart Adaptive Clothing, which is a brand that is a line of shirts that was created, inspired by her father, who had some mobility issues after having some surgery and also dementia. And so she created a line of shirts that have Velcro in the placket and on the cuff for easy on, easy
No
on.
buttons.
No buttons. Well, but there is buttons, but on the inside is the Velcro for the dressing. Again, the designers that we have in the program are really focused on a particular niche. It's no longer about just putting out another collection or another handbag. As we know, nobody needs another anything. It's really about serving a need and figuring out what are the pain points that people are having and what is something that really has value and that people have a need for. So another example of one of our incredible designers that's in the program now is Juno Jones. Emily Solaby has a shoe company for women. She created a line of women's boots for women that work on construction sites, so engineers and architects. And this is a whole new category.
Wow.
Now, and she just had a successful Kickstarter campaign in March, and she has a new podcast that just launched this month. So, it's exciting to see these very particular focused categories that designers are working on. We have another designer, Nicole Muhammad, who has a modest wear brand. It's called So Elevated. And she's also having some great success. And
so explain what modest wear is for people who don't know.
It's really for women that need to be covered but want to still look stylish and modern. So Nicole is Muslim, and she had found that she wasn't able, to find clothes that, she wanted to wear. So she decided to design them on her own and started getting interest and orders on them. And that's what inspired her. Her day job is as a psychologist. So she has, a very interesting background as she grows So Elevated. But it's so much more than just for religious women. I mean, her pieces are so classic and very modern and very functional that, there's a lot of women of many ages that would be interested in wearing them.
It's great. I mean, there's such a diversity of designers and products, and it's amazing to see all of this happen right in our own city. So, again, Elissa Bloom is Executive Director of Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. People can follow the Fashion Incubator Instagram account. They can follow you. They should support all of these designers and manufacturers in the city, including you. So let's talk about your Elissa Bloom New York line. My favorite thing is the coin purses, but there's a lot more. So yes. Okay, so let's back it all the way up. So Elissa Bloom New York started like 10 years ago, right?
Yes, I started a little over 10 years ago, and then I started in 2002, right after 9/11. Took a 10-year hiatus, and now I'm relaunching the brand. So
explain what it is. So it's coin purses and full size purses. You even have placemats. Walk us through the whole line.
Sure. So it's really a fun, kitschy line. I have these girl faces that have personalities on coin purses and cosmetic bags. As Melissa said, I have a line of placemats. I also have a cat and a dog. But I really just wanted to get back into really bringing smiles to people's faces. There's so much, dread and, horrible things that are happening right now, and wanted to really find a way to uplift people and bring some joy into people's lives.
And I think people may not realize that you draw all of those. So Last time I was over, you showed me your whole portfolio. You were like, what do you think of this? And out came like 50 drawings. So hold up one of your girls. You have a line of girls, right? And you give them all names and personalities.
Yes.
So do you have that coin purse that you just held up?
Yes. So here's Carrie. So I have...
So you draw all of that on paper, and then it gets transferred to a line of products. But they all have names and personalities, and I love the zipper on it. I love what is the name of the thing? You told me what the name of the zipper thingy is.
Zipper pull?
Yes, the zipper pull, and then on the inside it has your brand, right?
Yeah.
Your brand tag. Okay, so there's that. There are placemats, and they're all in this. They're definitely your style of drawing, and then they're all beaded, right? So they're all bright colors and amazing, and they're affordably priced also.
Yep, and yes, as you mentioned, all hand beaded, and really quirky and fun and whimsical, and I think just what we need right now. a little joy in our lives.
So where can people buy them?
So that's at elissabloom.com. And I have a new line of girls that I'm working on a whole new product category that's going to be launching later this year. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's been exciting to work on. I'm so inspired by everything that I'm seeing with our designers at the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. They've been a huge inspiration to me, and I'm just so proud. We just had Cheryl Mosey from Minky Blue, who was in our program in 2014. She was just on QVC last week with her line of Minky Blue travel bags. And
oh, wow.
That was very exciting. So in total, we've graduated over 45 designers. We have a very close-knit community of alumni. Many of them are mentors. They come back and have given workshops to our designers, and they also support one another in various selling events and marketing opportunities. So that's been very exciting just to see the rebuilding of the community here in the fashion
scene. Okay, Elissa Bloom, Executive Director of Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. My name is Melissa Jacobs. This is Mainline Tonight. I want to talk to you a little bit. So one of the things I love about you so much, in addition to how much color you love, and I can see it in your background right there, but I love your embrace of color, and I love your spirit, and I love that you just said you're working on new things, even in a time like this when the world is not at its best, and you're still creating and you're still finding inspiration. I think that's one of the best things about you. I know right before this, you were in India, which is a place that is dear to your heart. So tell us a little bit about your trip to India. It's not the first time you've been there, but the textures and fabrics and patterns that you saw there. Take us to India, because we're all stuck in our homes.
That was my 9th trip to India. I've always been there for business. I had originally Bloomingdale's had taken me there on buying trips, and then I was there with my own brand. And as you just mentioned, I was back there in February, and India is the type of place that either people love or they hate. There's like no in between, and I just am so in love with the entire country, the people, the culture, the food, the colors, as you mentioned. I mean, there's so much handcraft, artisan handicrafts that's happening, incredible embellishments. I was producing in China. Now I'm producing everything in India right now. But it's just an incredible.
And you went to these markets. I mean, you put it on your Instagram. I was following you, through Instagram. All of these different textiles, and these places that you went that just looked amazing. Is there a color or a pattern or something that appeals to your aesthetic that is only made in India? Why do you love it there so much?
I just love the bright colors. I've always been attracted to pop colors, and I just love the mix of embellishments and embroidery and beading and the sparkle and just, the sense of color and how they dress, the saris that they wear. And actually, I was there the past 4 times I've been there. It's been their wedding season. So there was a wedding at my hotel, which was, it was so magical. And also another hotel that I stayed at a few years ago. And just to hear this incredible music and see all the beautifully dressed guests, hundreds of people, and carrying these like bright parasols and horses.
Wow.
And dancing. And yeah, it's just an incredible place of inspiration for me.
And you've traveled around the world. So what other places, what other cities really inspire you? What other cities have fashion that just takes your breath away?
Well, I love Paris. I lived in Paris for 4 months, and I've been there about a dozen times. And, very inspired by just how people dress. I mean, they don't even try to dress. And they just...
It does look effortless. Yes.
Yeah. And the one thing about Parisians is that they don't own a lot in their wardrobe. They buy like very high quality pieces, and they know how to mix and match and really be able to style them beautifully. But they don't have big wardrobes like we do here in the US.
I would say that about Italians too, in northern Italy.
Mm-hmm. And I think even just accessorize how they put things together with scarves and with jewelry and hats and just mixing up how they dress, but they make it look so effortless. And I think it's just in the water or in their blood.
Well, I can't wait to watch your group of the people who are now in your incubator program. You just launched the 9th residency in March. People can find out all about it at Philadelphia Fashion Incubator at the website. And people should go and look at your amazing coin purses and placemats. That's ElissaBloom.com. You're going to want to get it now because it's very happy and lovely and gorgeous stuff. So it's been wonderful speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
I want to mention one more thing. We launched the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator. It has the Business of Fashion Thursdays, and it's a weekly business webinar. We have an incredible speaker tomorrow. If you can join us from 11 to 12, Wharton professor is speaking about her book on the shopping revolution. So if you want to hear about how disruption is happening, especially now in retail, definitely email me. It's Elissa at PhiladelphiaFashionIncubator.com, and I'll send you the Zoom link. But we have a great lineup of speakers. Next week we have Michael Solomon from St. Joseph's University is a marketing professor, and he's speaking about his new book, which is Why Fashion Brands Die and How to Save Them. And the week after, we have Terry Agans, who ran the fashion beat for the Wall Street Journal, and she's going to be speaking about her book, Hijacking the Runway. So we have a great lineup of speakers every Thursday, 11 to 12, with the Philadelphia Fashion Incubator.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for telling us about that. Yay! So it's been wonderful to see you, and I hope you're doing well. Love to your son and your dog, and hopefully we will see each other very soon. Elissa Bloom, thank you so much for being on Mainline tonight, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Good night.
Hey, thank you.